feel?
A little stressed. I didn't get to warm up before this. So.
Oh no! What did you do all day?
Oh,
I'm kidding. It's best to find some time, even 5-10 minutes in the whole day. It might help, and then you feel more confident, just mentally, psychologically. That would definitely do it. So if you get a chance in the future to present yourself to the public, and it's a boost of energy and confidence, even if it's 5 minutes might not do much to the sound, but just mentally. And what else did you feel about this?
I felt like stuff I could do better on.
Like what?
I felt like maybe I could have more dynamic contrast.
Okay, I agree with that. But how long have you been working on this piece?
Probably like a month.
A month. A month is a good time. You've got all the notes right, and I would probably be a bit concerned about the tempo. Do you have like a general metronome marking or some idea of how it should be, or where's the direction you're moving towards?
Probably a bit slower in the beginning, but probably like 50.
50. Let's check what 50 sounds like and see how far you're with that. Okay, let's hear you play 50. And I'll switch it to, there you go.
That's probably quick.
Too quick for you?
Yeah, or no, I mean like we should probably go slower.
We should be, or should
yeah,
we
yeah.
Why?
Cause like in the beginning you're trying to like express like your like volume more instead of like kind of like going.
Okay, let's look closer to the music. What do we have here? What is there a direction or description of this? What you're trying to do? Because there are interpretations so we can do, and the composers indicates that in the music score. So it gives us sort of a permission. Then we have to look at what time was it written, right? If it's written a certain period of time, there are like certain rules that you have to follow. So what do you know much about Debussy and this time period when he wrote it?
He wrote it.
Is it like a classical or romantic music?
It was about a book, right? Or I read the.
Yeah, the story.
Yeah, the story.
But how about the time when was it written?
1913.
Yeah, good. So it's 1912, close.
Okay.
But maybe different editions have different markings. It's a publishing. Good. So the tempo. Get back to the tempo because we didn't have much time. I would recommend you to play it a little quicker than you did, and the opening phrase does not indicate in your score to be free. Well, of course, it's a solo piece, so you might want to keep a little bit of freedom here and there, but when you study the piece and you're still early in the beginning, I suggest you stick straight to this particular tempo and find the comfort within this tempo. So you have access to so many recordings online and see when professional performers perform it, and your teacher probably suggests you some marking. I don't see any marking written on your score. By the way, where's your pencil?
Pencil.
Why don't we write down a tempo that would feel comfortable for you, where you can study at home and just practice it with metronome. Do you have a metronome at home?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
So let's put a quarter equals, I don't know, we'll identify it now. We can start maybe a little slower than 50. Mm-hmm. Why don't we start at 45?
45.
And see how that feels for you to start with. But really keep it strict with the tempo. And then we can add freedom as a specialty of your expressiveness. Right, let's stop here. What did you think?
I thought it was nice.
What was nice about it?
That it was moving through all the notes.
It was moving. I like that, and because the line was moving. When you played it different, first time you played it, it felt a little static. It was not moving. So what you just said, it's moving. I think that's the good word to keep in mind. You want to move with the line. You want to find a direction and see where it's going to. Okay, so something for the future as you play this piece, think of that. What did you like about it, and would this help you throughout the whole piece? The piece is not too long, so you can play it multiple times and ask yourself, does that feel good? What good about it does it make me feel good? So I suggest you work with the metronome in this tempo. I think 45 might be good for you. Be more precise with the dotted rhythm. There's no freedom in that. As I mentioned earlier, find more strictness in your play first, and then you can see where can you add room of flexibility and expressiveness. You see there is a fermata right here, so maybe slowing down towards the end of the measure might be a good idea, taking a little extra time on the breathing, these kind of details. And then you have breath markings written down. That might be also a phrasing idea for you to think about, room for flexibility again. But do really try to stick more on a strict tempo meter, so it doesn't move around. And it might get more challenging as you play the 30 seconds, right? So then you might want to practice it slower, and maybe 45 is too fast for you, and you can discuss that with your teacher in the future. Are there any challenging sections that you're worried about as you play?
Oh, probably the 30 seconds right
Why?
here.
So technically?
Yeah, just technically.
Okay, and what are your tools, how you deal with that?
Just kind of, my teacher told me to go faster, or slower right here, and then I speed up. So, that helped a lot. Let's
see how we can apply the steady metronome with finding comfort within this technical moment.
Yep.
I'll lower it down to 40 or 38. I know, it's 38, it sounds so slow to us, but when you have like 6 and 12 notes in one beat, it's a little challenging. So do you need to come a little before, just so you feel better? Yeah. Da, 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 da. Let me demonstrate you. Quite slow, right? So with that in mind, think slow. It's a slow tempo, peaceful, calm, because oftentimes when we look at the score and we see a lot of markings. By the way, whenever you put markings in your music and you're done with that, with learning, you might want to erase it, because having a busy score might pollute kind of your vision, and you might have the trauma of you learning some of the music from the past and being a struggle with the passage. You learn it, you're done, erase it. So that's not your worry no more. Yeah? So let's do this one more time in a slower tempo. So peaceful, calm. Don't think of 30 seconds. Think of slow tempo and peaceful manner of playing. Let's do it together. Take a breath. Together with the metronome. 1 and 1 and 1 and. Yeah?
Okay, yeah.
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
Why?
I don't know.
Don't you feel supportive? You're clapping because they support you. That's the best thing of any performance. You know, you get to perform and people clap, they cheer you, they want to hear more. You know, so don't think nobody's here to judging you. They're learning with you. That's why people like to come to master classes. It's a two-role participation. One participant is more active and the other one is more passive, and they make notes and they learn on some of what you're doing. So that's actually a really good thing for you to come to master classes, observe, not just participating by performance, but you sit down with the notebook and just with your score and see, have I thought about this? Did I do this? What if I do this and I try it? You know? And there are so many video online on master classes. You can even probably find the master class on Syrinx Debussy and see what other professors have to say about it. Let's get back to the spot and try to solve the rhythmical problem here. In this case, it seems to me that the rhythm is easy to divide. So why don't we divide our metronome into 8 notes? Have you worked like that when you?
No.
Okay, so what do we have? Number 45, and here it's 40. So 40 times 2?
80.
80. Okay, are you sure? It is 80. But let's do 80, and so that's a metronome for every 8 note.
Okay.
So it might feel faster, but it's actually the same slow tempo.
Okay.
So how do you count here?
So.
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
Let's see that in action. Dum ta 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 ta. Da, 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 da. Well, no, and this is a tie, right? So we are not breaking that. Hear it first. Right? About that. 1, 2, 1. Da, 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 da. That was better. Did you feel like you were hitting some of the beats?
Yeah.
That's good. Let's do it again. Yeah, I got a little panicked here, right?
Yeah.
Cancel panic.
Okay.
We don't need that. It's not helping.
Yeah.
No. Like, whenever I start to panic in my music and I perform, just like even today, like, you know, like I have all the waterfall on my cheeks, like, and my flute is moving here. Don't panic. Cancel. And, you know, it helps. Just canceling this kind of a feeling, because we all have situations happen. It's, you know, like, you can't not have a situation. There's always something. So just don't panic, and if you do, tell yourself, no, it's not helping, because it's going to make things worse. You know?
Yes.
True. Okay, let's do one more time and really nail it. Listen first. Yeah, you were a little late. So how many beats
4.
do we have? Why 4?
Oh, 2.
2, right? So, and you were waiting for 3. Let's do it one more time. Okay. Let's sing this.
Okay.
Sometimes taking off the pressure from your fingers and breathing helps you to really identify. So, like, just sing the line with the metronome. You don't have to be a singer to do that. I don't really care about the pitch.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're already off. Do you hear that? So it's a triple. Triplet goes in one beat.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. 1 da 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 da.
Okay.
No, don't,
Okay.
no flute.
Ba, 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 ba,
No. Listen, it's the 8th note.
Okay.
So this is the 8th note, so it equals the same beat that you hear in the metronome.
Ba, 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 ba,
Yeah,
ba.
that was right.
Got it.
Okay, now let's make sure you get the quarter as well.
Okay.
Do it again.
Okay. Ba, 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 ba,
No.
ba. Okay, wait. Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah, you're overholding here. So in this case, you might want to write a little dashes on top.
Yeah.
And when you're done remembering how many and what, you erase them.
Okay.
Okay, but not until then. And make sure you put them in the right places too. You see, that might be also something what gets confusing. So one goes above the E and the other one goes above the C flat. And then you have 2 beats here, and then only after you hear the new measure beat, that's where you go. Okay, continue singing.
Wait, right here?
No, from the beginning,
Okay.
the line.
Ba, 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 da, ba, da, 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 da.
Yeah, good. Did it feel confident
Yeah,
to you?
yes.
Did you hear like it was right?
Yep.
Isn't that a great feeling?
Yeah.
That's the feeling we all like. Yeah, I love that feeling. Let's do it now together with the flute.
Okay.
Start over. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. You were better overall. Did you hear the difference?
Yeah.
That was already better. You write a little sooner than you should, so because you're speeding up in the 30 seconds. You're still in the panic kind of a mode. It is slow. It's much slower than you think. Right? I think also you want to sing it, right? When you sing, you didn't rush much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So think of singing it actually as you play, right? Our brain is so good, we can do multitasking and think about so many things at the same time. And flute is such a multitasking instrument, and you develop that skill so well, so use it. Just sing as you play. It will help you to calm down and realize that it is actually slower. So it's already better. Let's hear you play without a metronome, but keep the beat in your mind. Same line. Yeah, that's great. Did you hear the difference?
Yeah.
How did it feel?
It felt a lot like better and like easier to get through the notes.
Okay,
Just
was it
really-
fast?
No.
No. So it's not about the speed. So what really worried you is so many markings here, and on top of that you see the 30 seconds. That's already scary enough. So you might want to organize some of your markings in a better way where it doesn't look as congested on your page, because that creates a certain feeling in your mind as you get to this part. So that's something for the future, and like whenever you study the music and you see the situation on your page, what makes it so scary, the actual notes or all of your markings on it? Yeah, so at this point you've learned all of the flats and sharps, so why don't you go home and erase some of those that you feel confident about? See, maybe that will help you to actually achieve a better result and more calming feeling with this piece. I think that's probably a good step forward for you to continue working with this piece, having clarity in your rhythms, and be more precise whenever there is a dotted rhythm, and how long do you hold the half note, right? Not just when you feel like taken off the breath. And in the future, and then you have some markings to play faster here, not in the second line, right? So you continue study the score a little more precise and identify what metronome marking does feel to you right, and then ask yourself why does it feel right, and then you can reference to some of the recordings online or ask your teacher about this, and you know, like everybody has their own tempo on solo pieces, and that's why some composers don't feel obligated to write the actual metronome marking. They give you a little bit of freedom. It's a solo piece, so you're doing great as being so expressive, but find more comfort in precision. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Was this helpful, I hope?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you so much. Looking for the score to reference the piano part, but I don't think I have it on me. Let's look at it closer a little bit. So you have a good sound, really big sound, so it's a good match for this piece. The opening, you have the description here written brillante, right? What's your take from this cadenza? What do you have in mind as you play it?
Probably to just get a lot of sound out.
You achieved that. Anything else? You have the brillante, so it's not only about the sound; it's also about the technique, right? So right from the beginning, you're showing off your big sound and the technique, the flawless finger of your flute, right? So you're moving arpeggios. Do you feel confident with that?
Not the arpeggios, but
arpeggios. I thought your scale might also have a little bit of work. How do you work on your technique?
Just go through chromatic scales.
Okay. How?
I'll set a metronome and I'll just play through it on a chromatic scale.
And starting on any particular note, do you use any articulations?
I'll start on D. Low D.
On the low D to the upper D. Well, that's a match right here. Let's hear you play the chromatic scale from the top to the bottom. Okay, are you speeding up towards the end?
Yeah, a little bit.
Why?
Because that's how I play it here.
Okay.
So that's how I like
but you're speeding up just very little bit, and it sounds not really secure. I'm not quite sure if that's an accident or you intend to actually do it. So if you want to start speeding up, you might want to start a little slower on the top, and then really show how you're speeding up. So start again. Actually, can you start on the E flat? With the fermata, take a breath, and then start slower, and then speed up. That was already, the intention was there. I could see that you're speeding up, not because you're running out of breath. You know, that's something could be read by the jury or whoever is going to listen to you at the competition. You want to give the impression that everything is under control and it's planned. So even though it's a cadenza, there is a lot of freedom here and there, but it has to be logical. You have to plan and see what you're trying to show her here. And it's a little tricky to have a cadenza at the very beginning of the piece. That's why good point that you wanted to work on it, because that's where the impression comes from. And so no matter how you do a little later, the first opening is what they're going to hear you play. That's the impression that people are going to get. So really nail it down with the scale and be really secure on the chromatic scale and logic of how you build it up. Let's get back to it. So start on the E flat one more time, and don't speed up to an extreme that you can't handle. Speed up to the point where you feel confident. Why don't we look at what's going on, starting on the D, going down to D. And use articulation. I see you marked it in triplets, so use a 3 legato. So the 3 legato, you have to tongue every 3 notes. With a little more confidence towards the bottom. A little more sound. Was that better, right?
Yeah.
So save that. We want to make sure we use that sound for the whole scale. That's the other thing I wanted to point out, but let's secure this chromatic scale one more time.
The whole thing?
Oh no, just the more sound. Good. Now let's start on the top with a D. Go down. Good, more confidence, right? And with confidence, the sound gets better too.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, sometimes you have to write on the music sheet like a few words of like your mantra words. For instance, the confidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, I would write clearly, be confident, trust in yourself. Because some spots like this might give you mentally insecurity, and that will definitely reflect on the sound, and that's not the impression you want to leave, because that's not what part of you, like you know how to play it well, you have great sound, so that's something you want to show forward. Yeah? Let's start with the E flat on the fermata and show me how you start slowly on the scale and then speed up towards the end. Keep the sound. Confident. Yeah, it's getting better, but something gets in the way. When you play the scale on its own, it's fine, but why is your scale is not working? Something distracts you.
Yeah.
What is it?
Probably all the light.
The light. Tell me about it. But then everybody gets to see you so well.
Yeah.
You know, that's the prize you get to play as you perform here. I would work the scale in many different ways, not just what you have it marked, but also using different articulations with the metronome, just so somebody is controlling the beat. And you have it marked in 3, you might want to also try in 6, you might want to try in 12. So something, there has to be an anchor for you so you can kind of navigate. Go back and forth and try to play slow as you go down. See how that feels, so reversing it. Try to play with this. Give me the 2 legato to staccato articulation. Calmly, no rush, no need to play fast. Okay, do it again, and now show me the confident sound that you have. Keep it. Okay, what do you physically do when you think of confidence in the sound as you go down? Because your sound changes quite a bit when you apply that.
Like to add more vibrato and like.
You're adding more vibrato to your sound, or is that kind of feeling?
Like more just louder.
Just louder, but there has to be something physically that you're doing to help your sound open up as you go down.
Harder.
I wouldn't think these would be the helpful. Try to play again and observe your body. What helps you? I want you to identify what actually helps you to play more secure as you get to the lower register. And then as we find out, you'll write it down. bottom. Any observations?
I like widen my mouth more.
Okay, that's actually one of the things that you could do. I'm trying to ask you, I know it's so much easier when the teacher is going to tell you what to do and what to write, but there's really no shortcut in this, but you have to self-observe and self-realize what do you actually do before somebody else tells you. So what I'm trying to do is to navigate you with the realization of what does actually happen in your body. So you mentioned about having your mouth wider. So why don't you write a wide mouth? Yeah, and you'll be able to read this as you play, right?
Yeah.
Good. So think of it as you play it. Now play the whole scale, legato with no rush, just calmly and secure, and show me the big sound at the bottom. Good. Let's add one more note. Yes, it was better, right?
Mm-hmm.
So having few words written by yourself is giving you security. Of course, I'm helping you with navigating and confirming right or wrong. That's why you have the teacher. But also having the self-analysis and curiosity, always a very helpful thing as you study the music and as you want to perfect it and make a sense out of it, especially. And all of the tools that you have, Arpeggione and then Cadenza, so think how can I apply this to improve my expression? So you do have a very expressive sound, so use it. And here, in fact, I would like you to continue to use your sound beginning of the scale. You give big sound on the E flat, but then your sound drops. So instead, I would take a lot of time right after the E flat and take a bigger breath, because I keep watching you take a very small breath, your mouth doesn't open wide enough, so you're already presetting yourself for failure. So instead, I would write a much bolder breath, marking there, and play as loud as I start from the E flat. So therefore it's going to sound. You hear it? The same balance. Yeah. And the expression continues. And then you want to bring the same expression to the very low scale. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Let's hear you do that. I know so much detail and attention to such a small spot, but it is the cadenza and the opener of the piece. So we want to make sure we get the most points of impression on a jury committee. Continue. Don't worry about that. You will study it later with the articulations. Yeah. But did you hear the difference? Mm-hmm. Do we need to ask, or like, does it feel different? Should we save that? Okay. It seems like they like it, so I think you'll get a better point. Okay. And as you go down, I would suggest you to stay strong. Yeah. So that might be the good word for you to write down in this white spot so you can see it clearly for the lower register, right? So just seeing a few comments in your music score is very, very helpful. Doesn't it already feel makes a difference for you? Let's now go to the arpeggio. So back to the scale, you will continue playing it with the metronome, securing it the lower register, because the link between the middle register to the lower register is where your problem is. We don't have too much time to do it during this class, but that's something I'm sure you can handle on your own. Let's get to the arpeggio. Again, big sound, but you're not using it always. Why? Only in the few notes that I've heard the big sound. Everything else, was somewhere not there.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Why don't you do it again and try to use more of that big sound throughout the arpeggio, not only in the top note. Similar to how we did in the scale, right? You continue after the big note. That's already a good start. So now you have more stability of how you present yourself, not only in one particular note, but throughout the phrase. What you also started to also show here for us is the line, right? So you continue the pattern. You start with the big sound, the brillante, and you continue with that. You're not leaving it behind and starting something new. That helps us to connect that this is a one idea. And this is what you want to show, an idea, not many ideas, right? You have a theme and the rest of the piece that will help you to show something different. But if you start playing big, you want to continue with that. Now, how big you want to play is a different question. There are many different degrees of it. Perhaps you're giving an extreme of your big, maybe you want to lower it down or keep it where you are, but you need to think what would fit the rest of the phrase. And sometimes you would have to compensate by giving a little bit less on the first note, just so the rest of the phrase matches. So just a hair, try. Don't write anything down. We are testing. What if it doesn't work? That's enough for us to understand how much in the percentage 1 to 100 did you give less to the G?
Probably like 10%.
10% less?
Yeah.
It didn't feel much, so it felt still confident and secure. I would say to experiment going forward to see like what would help the rest of the arpeggio, because whenever you have a big sound, it is hard to control it because you want to share and give your best. But not always we don't always need to give best, because that might be not the right spot. The first note it could scare somebody, you know. And if you have an older community of people, they would might have to go to the hospital. That's true, because people often fall asleep. So think about that too. So be more gentle. Why don't you experience with 50%? How would that sound? So strong sound, 50%. So it's still strong, right? It's not bad. I would probably split the difference and see how you can experiment with it and what works better for you. Now with the arpeggios, again, I would add the articulations. So many versions that will give you confidence, and then you don't need to worry about it. But you have to spend about 10-15 minutes on this at least, and maybe every day for at least a week, and see where does this progress bring you. So that's something about the consistency, and don't expect the clean results right away, but the next day sometimes is easier to look at what happened yesterday. Yeah, and then another arpeggio we have here. I've noticed that you're pushing off the high G here a lot. And are you taking a breath? Is it possible not to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, so why do you have the breath then?
Well, because it's a little hard, but I can try.
Have you tried and it worked for you once? Okay, why don't you start from the top and do it in one breath?
Okay.
And think of what kind of sound quality you want to give so it works for you. you should erase this breath. It breaks a little bit of an idea. And for the cadenza, again, one idea, you want to keep it within one breath. If you give too many segments, you lose an audience. So you can do it. Now you need to do is push yourself to make it happen. So the few tools you need to do: solve the problem with the arpeggios, that slows you down and stops you. Now, the broken arpeggios. You have the accents here written. Use those to your advantage. It will help you to anchor the arpeggios down. So ta-da-da, ta-da-da, ta-da-da. Start practicing with the articulation and exaggerate these accents. Then as you get to the big arpeggio, be more expressive on the top, but don't slow down too much there. You slowing down takes so much breath. And then you end up not having none of your breath left for the trill on the G. It's written with the fermata. It's a cadenza, so you might want to experiment the length to your capacity of breathing. So once you solve the technicality here, it will save you so much breath. And when you don't feel confident, we'll lose more air. And when you don't have air, you can't have the whole length phrasing. But again, opening phrase, the first impression. So show everybody that you have big lungs of air and that you can handle the expressiveness on one breath. You do have two breaths here. So it's like you can definitely do it. And you already believe in it. That's a start. Now make it happen through the technicality. I'll probably have to let you go because it's getting late. But good luck on this journey. I'll be curious to hear from your teacher the results of your competition. Good luck.